Hey there. So right now we're going to talk about mindset, the new psychology of success. So basically, author tells us that there is two types of mindset. The first one is the fixed mindset, and the second one is the growth mindset. Now, what's the difference between these two mindsets? The person who's fixed mindset not only is protective of his own image, basically, fixed mindset person is for example, is admired because of his or her talent in certain things. Fixed-minded person don't want to expand right now. That type of person wants to be protective. Do you see what I mean? Like the fixed mindset person is protective of that whatever title. Fixed mindset person don't want to go out and challenge himself or herself or whatever, because that person already has this image, and that type of person don't want to face humiliation or defeat. While on the other hand, the growth mindset person is the person that's like, okay, let's challenge myself. Let's go out. Let's take these tests. Okay, I've failed, whatever. Let me try it another time, and let me come back later. Basically, fixed mindset people generally lead themselves, and it's a very interesting study done. Lead them basically to feel smart in the short run. They let themselves down. For example, they refuse to take English classes, additional English classes for free, because they are like, well, I still cannot do it, or that will be hard, a waste of my time. They don't even want to try it, while the growth-minded people are like, oh yeah, let's go, it's a great thing. And one of the characteristic of the people of growth mindset is this. And you can write this down on paper and just look at it and read it often. This is hard and this is fun, you know. There's this saying basically that said, if it was not hard, everyone would do it. It's the hard that makes it great. So this is hard and this is fun. If it was easy, it would have no value. There would be no value to do it. It's the hard that makes it great. This is also characteristic of growth mindset. Becoming is better than being, while the fixed minded people are opposite. And while I was reading this book, I had opportunity to observe this type of people as you meet, right? And I've noticed that, I mean, for real, people with fixed mindset, it doesn't matter what kind of advice you try to give them or etc., they will always come up with excuses. They will be like, oh, I've tried that, it didn't work. They will be like, no, you're just naturally gifted in that thing. And they don't want to understand that you also practiced to be good at certain things. And people with growth mindset, generally people, not only people with just growth mindset, but people with sane mentality, basically people with some sort of sense on their mind. They don't give the bloody test, a paper, power to define them. While fixed mindset people are like, okay, this test showed this, whatever, now my future is set in stone. While growth mindset people are like, no, that's not true. How can we know where effort, coaching, and time will take someone? I know this from my personal experience in 3 different areas, for example. And one of them is, for example, the gym. I was super skinny, and I thought, well, maybe I don't have that real genetic. But when I went on the gym, started lifting, putting effort and time, and got a coach in the gym that would train me, like, what? I literally started to improve on a tremendous level, and I found out that, well, I didn't really have a bad genetic, but I never knew about it. In fact, I had a good genetic. Same happened when I was training, for example, kickboxing. I mean, first when I went there, I sucked, but I kept practicing. I kept doing things, and I improved. Like, this is, by the way, great thing when you have this experience in the gym and etc. Because you look at this book while you're reading it, and you're like, yes, well, this. Because the gym has this unique mentality that can teach you that, oh, hey, if you put your time, and if you put your time, effort, and you get coached right, if you eat right way, if you sleep enough, and if you train well, you will have the results. And it will take time and persistence, right? And this thing you can put it in other parts of your life as well. For example, when I had the social anxieties, I used the same mentality, right? Okay, if I were to go out right now, outside, and do these social challenges, and try to talk to strangers. Yes, first it was super awkward, I was nervous as hell, but I knew that over time or practice I would improve and I would be able to do it better and better way, which eventually happened. So this is a unique thing that you can learn from the gym, and it's a really great thing to train, because you can also, in the gym, it's much more easier thing, because you can also see physically how your body improves. Just like in social challenges, you can look at how you improve and how less shy you are. Basically, how open you become. You are still shy, but you are not closer. You can initiate conversation with people and do public speaking, for example, a lot more easier because of that experiences. The best pilots fly more than the others. That's why they are the best. Now, there's a story in the book about the George Dandig. Basically, this kid is a prodigy that's born like super genius. At the age of 3, he could already read, and he was like super smart. And when you say about the best pilot, is the one basically that flies them more than the others. Of course, there is a difference, and she mentions in the book that there are basically below 3% of the people, and top 1 or 2% of people, like George Danzig, for example, that don't count in this thing. Basically, they are extraordinary people, and the below are just people that simply have this physical thing. Basically, they are ill or whatever, though they cannot really learn that well things. So what I'm saying is that these people are excluded from these things right now, what we're talking about. But it's still majority of the people, right? More than 90%. Which means that more than 90% of the cases, what can 1% do, you can also do it. And here's the thing: nothing is harder than saying, I gave it my all and it was not good enough. And this is so true, because when you give your all, and I know what it feels like, you have no excuses to tell yourself. But while you do not give your all, you are like, if I tried that thing hard enough, I would have succeeded. If I done that thing, or basically, if I, for example, if you did not try it, you'd be like, or if I tried to invite my crush on whatever date or whatever, she would agree, but I just did not, for whatever reason. You can say this, but if you actually went on and invited, try to get a date, but you get no as an answer, now you cannot say that, oh, Now what can you say to yourself to justify what happened? And really nothing. That's why most people cannot really invite people that they like on a date, for example, because if they get rejection. That's why rejection is it's scary for most people, right? Because if you are rejected, like, you cannot bring any excuses. Just like that, if you try certain thing to best of your abilities and you still fail, you cannot tell yourself anything. This is what fixed mindset people think. By the way, this is a fixed mindset thinking, what I've just mentioned about this dating and this stuff, right? But what growth mindset people tell themselves is that regret is the worst thing that can happen to you. And you, after 20, 30 years, you can say that I gave that thing my all, but I still failed. So I have no regrets right now. This is what growth mindset people tell themselves. And the other thing I mentioned before was the thing fixed mindset people tell themselves. Okay, you see the different mindset between these two, how huge the difference is, for example. How huge. And it's very fun thing, right? How people with growth mindset view the same thing differently, and how fixed minded people view it, right? Growth mindset people are like, yes, like, yes. 20 years later, I'll be like, I tried to get a date, but she refused, so I have nothing, no regrets. While if I were to right now, I did not win her and tried it, I would have a regret right now about, oh man, I haven't tried it. How can I know it? But now it's pointless because I have tried and failed. I failed honorably. So it's amazing thing. Nothing is harder than saying I gave it my all and it was not good enough. Or it's more related for fixed mindset people. The growth mindset people say I gave it my all and it was not good enough. Okay, should I give even more, like 10% more attention to this, and I still fail? Then I have no regrets because I gave my all. But if there is still possibility to give, like, I mean, if we talk about other things rather than dating, about, for example, this study done, maybe for growth mindset people, like, maybe I need to put more hours into it, and I need to get more assistance, and I have to gather right mindset people, because power is organized effort. You don't, this is one of the things she mentions in the book. People don't achieve great things. Like, this is what society believes, right? These super smart people sitting alone in their room and come up with these exceptional inventions and doing this exceptional stuff completely alone in their room, closed, like alone, which is again how fixed mindset people view things, how fixed mindset people look at the world. But that's not true. Like, take any person, they have like huge team that supports them. Like, she mentions, for example, Thomas Edison as an example. In any cases, there is no lasting, truly lasting success achieved alone. If you want to actually, if you're, there is this saying, like, if your goal is a thing that you can do alone, that's kind of pathetic goal, most likely, because you need a team and people to achieve it. But fixed mindset people have this view of all this protege. The person sits alone, completely alone in their room, was taught by nobody, had never had a coach, had natural talent, never needed to train, never needed to put train/effort. It's saying never needed to put effort in it. But that person just had it. No, and neither they have achieved that success alone. They had mentors and they had people they worked with to do it. And generally, people play a huge role around you. What type of people you surround yourself with, especially when it comes to achieving something. So and eventually you have to understand that You have to work hardest for the things you love most. Nobody cares. Nobody. If you were to, and I know it's a bad thing to say, but it's an honest thing. Try to think about this thing because I used to. It really used to help. Like thoughts of this, right? Understanding your own mortality, which is also a Stoic thing to think about. And understanding your own mortality, that eventually we're going to die. Just think about it. If you were to die tomorrow, right now, the sun would still come up. People would still wake up. Everyday normal life would still keep going. Nobody would care. Yeah, maybe there would be a couple of people that would shed some tears and like whatever, but nothing will have changed by that. You won't be able to take anything with you. You'll just die, and that's it. And for example, this thing and thoughts used to help me in social challenges because I would have these occasions at the beginning, right? I would see a person that I liked, I find attractive, and I just wanted to say like, just hello. I just saw you are very beautiful and just want to come and say hi to you. But there will be this fear of, oh no, fear of rejection, fear of what if they, blah blah blah. Basically, like excuses come like that. But then I would be like, whatever. I may die today or tomorrow. I don't want to have, and again, this is a gross minded thing, I don't want to have the regret that I had there a chance and I blew it away. It's the worst possible thing that can happen to you. You have to work hardest for the things you love the most. Love most. You want to improve yourself, you want to, for example, read books, go to the gym, train, improve, have better friends, have more money, more high quality relationships with people, because this is like the truly thing that matters is high quality relationships, not just numbers. If you want to have that things, then you have to work hardest for the things you love most. Nobody is going to do it for you. Nobody will do it for you. Nobody cares. It's your choice. Extreme love of learning and challenge. It's from the George Danzig's characteristic. Extreme love of learning and challenge. Reading deeply and thoughtfully. One of the most important things in life is mental toughness. Because when people tell you that, oh, why are you doing that? Cannot you see that you fail? You fail so many times, you got rejected, you train so hard, you are all in better, good shape. Why do you keep training? Why do you keep reading? Why do you keep improving? When people shit on you, to talk crap, they put you down, because on the way humans basically attack each other is a mental way to put you down. Are you going to listen to those things? You suck. You're stupid. Maybe your teachers told you that you were stupid. Actually, are you going to give their words power to define your future, to decide who you truly are? Are you going to let that happen? It's totally up to you. And understand this, growth mindset people will never let that people define, and their words and their stuff define who they are. With growth mindset, find success in learning and improving, not just in winning. Important. I think this is said by Thomas Edison. Here lies the man who was wise enough to bring into his service men who knew more than he. Basically, he wanted to write this thing as a note on his grave. Here lies a man who was wise enough to bring into his service men who knew more than he. And this is the thing about the fixed mindset people. Fixed mindset people despise people that are better than them. While growth mindset people love this type of people, bring them into it. While fixed mindset people, like say fixed mindset person is a boss in the company. Fixed mindset person that is boss in the company is going to bully especially and fire most talented people that are talented and smarter than he or she or whatever that person is, because they despise it. They despise when somebody makes them feel small, when somebody makes them feel insecure. While growth mindset people are like, yeah, this is what growth mindset people want, to be with people that are better than they are, that can help them improve. While the fixed mindset people despise them. Fixed mindset people are all about maintaining their image of this cool person that's sharp actor that does everything right and likes to boast and etc. In front of people and look at how cool I am and etc. While the growth mindset person is like, yes, we are doing this thing. Our company is doing this thing. We have this team, and we as a team are doing this thing. And fixed mindset person is like, I'm doing these things. Who are these people that work for me? I'm the main thing here. I'm the rock star. I, as a fixed mindset person, that's what it says, and we, as a growth mindset person. And also, the culture there in these companies, of course, like humongously different, because it's just different stuff. You have to understand that, like in companies where their talents are not appreciated and is chased away, and in fixed mindset situation and growth mindset company, we have like companies where talent is appreciated. Also, I believe countries can have the same mentality as well. There are countries that have fixed mindset. Basically, what defines it is that, let's say, more people in the country have fixed mindset than growth mindset. There are certain countries, right? If we can say, we will find that percentages of like, yeah, more people are in fixed mindset and less people are in growth mindset. And because of cultural, religious reasons and etc., which works on it. And I wanted to mention some notes. We have in Japanese culture like phenomenon where like training is deeply appreciated. For example, we have talked about the Miyamoto Musashi's book, which you can check it out. I'll put it somewhere here in the end of the video, and you can check it out, where it says that like the way is in training, where basically practice is humongous importance in Japanese culture. For example, the famous saying of Miyamoto Musashi: there is nothing outside of yourself that can ever enable you to get better, stronger, richer, quicker, or smarter. Everything is within, everything exists. Seek nothing outside of yourself. And this sentence like shows the growth mindset mentality, because Japanese people basically, and what I mentioned about the countries can be fixed or growth mindset is that Japanese had this Bushido and had a samurai. Samurai is the same as European version of knighthood. So in Japan, the samurai mentality was all about growth mindset, because they believed in practice. It's huge. It's all the characteristic of growth mindset. They believed in practice. They believed in importance of practice, because these famous swordsmen, they would train hours. They would train these martial arts and stuff, and they knew that over time and over putting effort, they were improving, and that's why they were saying, right, practice, effort. It's hugely appreciated in Japanese culture, and we can see where Japan is and how Japan recovered from World War II. They have this top economy. It really, if you like pay attention to it and see what Japan did, for example, how they came back to their feet after World War II, you can see that people have this growth mindset because of these cultural reasons that I mentioned. Probably there are even more things. And other thing I wanted to mention is all the thing I mentioned. It's about the gym mindset, which is again the growth mindset that teaches you that or time, putting time, effort, and it takes time, certain time, it takes different time for different people. But it gets done with right coaching, putting time and effort. Because if you train in a wrong way, and if you eat wrong way, and if you are sleep deprived, or you just train 3 hours non-stop in the gym, that's a very bad thing. Base rate will be like if you were to train 1 hour, if you want to grow your muscle, if you were to train 1 hour, if you took protein after that, and if you get like it lasts 6 hours of sleep, 6-7 hours of sleep, or even more if your body desires. Right, so coaching has huge meaning, and time you put it and effort, and it won't happen in just one day. But it also depends on what kind of goal you want to achieve. So that's it, the end of our conversation. Tell me what you think about the thing I mentioned about Japanese culture, if you agree on it or not. And if you don't, why? Explain it. And smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't. See you.